This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive. Nothing's gonna stop us, nothing's gonna top this, nothing like we've ever seen. And I raise my hands to the sky, what a feeling.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of PHYTO Passion Project. I'm Lynn Tan, and I'm the Managing Director of Alice Group Singapore, and we are the brand owners of PHYTO. I've been selling PHYTO in Singapore for close to 20 years, and I'm very passionate about hair care, and I'm very passionate about plants. I'm personally also very passionate about dancing, and I'm passionate as well about food, especially eating it. So I've decided to create this program where we could talk about what we're really passionate about, other than busy pursuing our careers and our businesses, and what else inspires us and motivates us. So that's why I decided to create this program and invite friends over to discuss this. So today I'm really excited to have a very special guest, and his name is Paul Foster. Paul is a multi-talented individual, and I'm so glad I've got to know him. I think we know each other since 2012, 2013, Paul?
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, Lynn, that sounds about right. 2012, yeah. Yes.
So talented, he's an actor, a model, a host, an entrepreneur, and a social activist. I like to call him that. So, pursue maybe one social cause, but Paul has several, and he's been at it for years, which is such an inspiration, honestly. And I felt that I don't know if you remember this, Paul, but back in 2015, because of your positive influence, I got involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna share a picture. Can you see the picture?
Oh yeah, look at that. That's a long time ago now.
So because of Paul, I kind of got involved in this, and now I got a little cute teddy bear as a gesture of their appreciation for our, our
donation. Your donation. Yeah.
So I think recently Paul's also been in a Netflix series called Singapore Social. That's a really fun show that you've been on as well. Mm-hmm. And what else have you been up to, Paul? Could you share with us?
Well, not too much this year on the work front, unfortunately, but life is not all about work, although we depend on work for our income to live our lives. I mean, we have to consider ourselves lucky, or at least those of us who can. So for myself, even though I haven't really been working much, I don't sit around and I don't get idle. I want to help when I can. I want to continue doing the unpaid work, so to speak, because I still feel like even though, I can't be productive in terms of my career to earn my living, I can still be very productive and help other people who have a lot less than us. And I think that's the one thing that last few months, especially here in Singapore, has really come to light. I think a lot of people here are quite kept in quite a bubble because they never think that their life is bad or everything is safe here, everything is clean.
In Singapore, right?
Yeah. Oh, very, very lucky. And when you don't see it in your own backyard, and then you can always say, oh, it's a problem that's somewhere else. It's very easy just to, live your life in that bubble. But I think globally now in 2020, everyone's kind of realized, wow, we're all interconnected. And as COVID-19 has hit all of us, I think now you start to notice a lot of people aren't in as safe a position as they thought they were. Yeah. And so one of the big projects I'm doing now is the Majalah Movement, which is a social enterprise platform that we started about 3 weeks ago. Actually, 3 weeks ago today. So we launched on Vesak Day, actually. And it just came about from a pivot from one of our companies, Dre Valet, which was a valet company. And once nighttime. The nighttime scene was closed. All the bars and clubs were closed. We lost a lot of our nighttime service. Sorry?
Who will need valets now that the nighttime scene?
Exactly. And workshops as well. Mercedes is one of our big clients, and less cars on the road, skeleton crew for a lot of places, people putting on split team shifts. So, when all that happened, we were like, oh, wow, we have to pivot our valet company. And we thought, well, let's go into help logistics for delivery, because all of a sudden there's a lot of delivery needed for everything.
Yes, true.
Yes. And then sorry?
You can have a look at Modular Movement and what it does.
Yeah, if you have some stuff to show. Yeah. You can put it on while I talk anyways. And it's, you can see from some of the pictures there, that middle picture right there was very, very at the beginning of the infancy of when we started it. And actually, as we pivoted Dre Valet to help in delivery, I helped another friend who owns an Indian restaurant, Sitara restaurant, the restaurant behind me in that middle photo, to do a food drive. So I was helping him to kind of organize the way he should structure it, kind of like a consult. I consulted for him, and I helped him promote it a little bit, helped him get some donations, helped volunteer to deliver the food, to the people who needed it. And I connected the dots from that to Dr. Jade Kwa. So she's someone very pivotal in the health and medical industry.
A lot of food to the frontliners, the health.
Yes, so she did a lot, and technically you can't deliver food to frontline healthcare workers without having a contact that's inside, because they're very strict on who can deliver food. For example, they just don't want food poisoning. Someone random can't come and deliver 50 meals to one hospital, and then if something's wrong with that batch of food, everyone's gone, and then the infrastructure will be out of sync. So Dr. Jade Kwa was awesome. She connected us with a lot of hospitals, a lot of health facilities, so we could start to deliver food to these people. But we also identified that our migrant community, our migrant friends who are in a very, very difficult situation right now, in their dormitories, in temporary dormitories, in quarantine facilities, in hospitals. So they also needed food. So we identified these two groups of people that we should kind of help first. And we got a small core group of restaurant partners on board. Chipta Rasa Cafeteria, which is our halal partner. We got Sitara Restaurant I mentioned earlier, is our Indian cuisine. Goodyear Restaurant is Chinese.
Nice.
We've got Harry's and Rookery that cover a little bit more on the western side. And we get a lot of our perishable food packs, our food care packs. So the stuff that you can keep on the shelf for months at a time.
Like biscuits.
Biscuits, dried fruit, drinks, jellies. We get a lot of our products from Ego Foods. So they either sponsor and donate, or at least give it to us at cost price, no GST, to help us, because this is for a good cause. So we ask the public to give us donations. It's $10 for a meal, or it's $10 for a food care pack. And we use that money and we go and we give it back to a restaurant to cook meals, and we pay the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then we either volunteer to deliver, or we use our delivery systems to actually deliver the food out. So
it's a full circle. Everyone gets involved, everyone give, and everyone gets to get paid as well and get jobs.
Correct. So we wanted to create a circular economy to help our local F&B businesses, to maybe help some of our delivery companies. Unless we try to volunteer to deliver more often than not, so we can save the money to actually buy the food.
Yes.
And then obviously provide the food now to again, our migrant friends, our healthcare workers on the front line. But now we've also expanded to healthcare workers who are managing health facilities. and also to, like say, for example, the Red Cross Home for the Disabled, another old folks home we just delivered to very recently as well. And the more we do this, every day we're doing this, more people are coming and approaching us and asking us whether we can help them.
How do we get involved in this? Yeah.
Yeah, so many people are asking us, like, can you send us food? So now we've expanded again our radius out to not only migrant community and frontline healthcare workers, but just healthcare workers in general, you know, for facilities or managing facilities, and the elderly and anyone else that really needs it. Over time, we will fill these gaps, because the marginal movement is not just for now. Not just for COVID-19. We started it now for COVID-19 because there was a big need for it.
Yep.
But we want this to continue post COVID-19 because there's always people who need help. Somewhere, somehow, someone needs something. And this is the time where when you can help and you can give back, you know, everyone's coming out. So this is the other group of people who I'm asking to help. My friends who are donating, strangers who are donating, friends who are asking, can I help to pack the food or deliver? And I said, yes, when we're starting to get very busy, I would need your help. You know, because there's only 4 of us in the team. Myself, my good friend Andre, who we are partners in from Dre Valet. We have another partner, actually, another Andre from Huber's Butchery. So even Huber sponsors some meat. He gives back meat. Yes, very nice meat that we give back to the restaurants. Some of the restaurants, we say, okay, you know, here's a certain, you know, kilo, like it could be $1,000 worth of meat. Say, how many kilos do you want? And you can cook how many meals, but then you obviously charge us less for the actual meal. Yeah. So you're not charging us the full price because we're giving you the protein, the main protein meat for free, sponsored by Huber's. So you know, it's been lovely support from that side. But the two main people behind the scenes that have been amazing at setting up the website and dealing with all the logistics and even helping with deliveries as well for us and doing the social media is Ling and Helen. So, you know, they've been fantastic. So it's actually only 4 of us that are really doing the marginal movement, but it's been a great start. We still have a long way to go. Obviously, we always still need money to come in so we can continue buying.
What's the website? Is it Marginal Movement?
www.marginalmovement.com. Super duper easy.
Marginal Singapura. Marginal.
Exactly. You know, because Marginal, it's all about moving onward.
Progress.
Together. Yes, progress. United progress. Yeah. So that's what we wanted to encapsulate in this initiative, that, you know, we have to be here for each other. We cannot let our system and our nation break down. You know, we have to stop this.
We do what we
in-house
can, right?
fighting. Yeah, there's too much bickering and fighting and finger pointing and targeting, and it's negative. We shouldn't be that way. We should
very
be
negative.
Positive. We should look at the positive. We should look at helping where we can. And like I said, I, for one, I'm so proud to be Singaporean, and I'm so proud to be living in Singapore because this is not a real lockdown.
This is very fortunate.
Compared to China, compared to Spain, compared to Italy, compared to, you know, they had it terrible where there was a full lockdown, you know, and the number of deaths and how the whole health infrastructure just collapsed because they were just so overloaded. And this problem is still happening in many other countries, but Singapore in general have handled this very well. I think the public should be happy and should, you know, appreciate how safe we are. I mean, the only stain obviously is the lack of foresight that we didn't take care of our migrant community.
Very unfortunate.
That was very unfortunate. It happened. We can't do anything about what happened then.
We can't change the past.
But we can do a lot now and for the future. So that's why I say we need to move forward together and all that. So if anyone wants to donate, very easy, marginalmovement.com. You can go on there. You can pay by a credit card. You can bank transfer. There's even a PayLah. The QR code is there. So if you do that, and that's the best one because we don't lose any commission.
Yeah, perfect.
If you PayLah me straight away, it's in. No commissions, because obviously through the website and through credit card, all that, we do lose a little bit of commission because that's just the way it works. And
all the money you put in is to get food for the migrant workers and the frontliners and whoever who needs. the help?
Yeah, and at the moment, mostly anyone in healthcare or some sort of care facility, and the migrant workers in the dormitories. So I mean, even those pictures we saw earlier when me and Andre were on the boat. So
Yes,
that
where
was
were you
actually,
going on the boat?
I can't say exactly where we were going. Everyone can probably use their brain a little bit and think
Yes.
about where we're going. There's only a certain number of places we could be going, but that is actually to one of the government quarantine facilities in Singapore. So yeah, so that's on the left is where we were loading up the boat to go. As you can see, so that's a box of I think that was a jelly pudding from Ego. And then on the boat, we've got the Ego box there as well, and we've got our red container, which is where we put the cooked food in. And we were heading out to this government quarantine facility, and you know what? They reached out to us, and again, this is not about stepping on anyone's toes. This is not about saying that people aren't doing the job and taking care of others, but we're just here to boost, to help boost a little bit, to help
if possible. Yeah.
fill a gap. Yeah, it's just the little things like that. So look, the management of that particular facility just reached out and said, hey, listen, it'd be really nice if maybe you could send some care packs, care packs across to our migrant community on in this facility, and because it's just a morale booster.
Yep.
It's just something. They had the food, they were eating. Yes, they were getting their 3 meals a day, but it was just another added bonus
like
of something.
a jelly. It's nice. It's a fun dessert. It's always nice to have a treat, once in a while.
Yeah. And then we learn a lot. We learn every day. So even when we went there that one day, we spoke to the management on at the facility on the ground, and they're saying it's not just food. They need clothes. They actually need clothes. They need entertainment. Some of the guys were taken off their work site one day, just taken off and shipped, off straight away to facility. So they didn't even, all they had was whatever they brought with them that day. So they need clothes, entertainment.
Obviously, they have no Netflix there. Nothing.
No. They do get SIM cards with data, but I don't even know what kind of phones they have, because like when we were in the army, we cannot bring our phones with camera into camp because they don't want us to take pictures or videos and leak it out. And I'm pretty sure at these facilities, this is the same thing. So I don't know what devices they have, but they have to stay on their bed. They have to stay within a certain radius. They can't go out.
Sounds like a prison.
Yeah, well, for the lack of a better word, yes. And so we want to even source we're not just sourcing now for donations and sponsorship. We want to move over to like corporate sponsorship. We need maybe magazines or books in Hindi and Bangladeshi and Thai and Chinese. We need toiletries. We need toiletries, shavers, shaving cream, toothbrush,
Is it all on your
toothpaste,
website that we could go check it out on your website?
It's all there, but we're also learning, like I said, as we go. So as we learn, we're trying to update as we go. And we've been reaching out to a few different groups now to ask for this kind of sponsorship. Right now, for example, I know off the top of my head, if anyone can sponsor any clothes, but real clean new clothes from fashion brands. You got old stock that you can't sell, old season. You give us, we will make sure it gets to the right place. Toiletries also. So any of the big brands out there, companies that
big shower gels.
Yeah, exactly. Shower gels, toothpaste, toothbrush, shavers. I don't need to shave. I don't shave, so it's okay. But it's things like that, and even coffee. Migrants We Care asked if we can supply 96,000 sachets of instant coffee. 96,000, but cost price roughly for one sachet is about 11 cents. So even at 11 cents times 96 is still about $10,000.
Yeah.
It was over $10,000. So we don't have that right now. We don't have the depth to purchase $10,000 worth of instant coffee to give.
Yeah.
So, you know, eventually I'm going to reach out to, you know, I've spoken to Dairy Farm, and they've been lovely. I've got a friend there, Gwen, who I spoke to today.
Nice.
Another contact, Palin, who's actually with Nespresso, but Nespresso's with Nestle. So I'm going to write to Nestle to see whether or not they can sponsor as well. You know, and it's people like that. Like I said, I'm using my network to hopefully branch out and find a lobang, find someone that we can that can maybe help sponsor, or at least sell to us at cheap or cost price.
Got it. So moving along, Paul, because this has been great, but I want to learn more about the other passions that you're pursuing. And the next one is something that's very close to both our hearts. It's got to do with the environment.
Yeah.
And how the environment is so important to us, climate change
Absolutely.
and environment. And I know you've been very active in this cause, and PHYTO is very much an advocate in having a good environment. In fact, we changed our packaging. We took out most of our packaging boxes and leaflets as to reduce printing. So that saved a lot of cost. We changed our bottles from being round to squarish so as to maximize the use of the carton boxes. So every little thing helps. When you don't waste space. Yeah, so our shampoos are all squarish now. We threw away all the boxes, we stopped printing them, and we save so much, not just the cost, but the environment, just by not wasting the paper.
Yes.
So tell me about what you're doing for the environment. I know you're very active there as well.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of nature, obviously. You know, growing up, I was always an outdoors kind of kid. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed being out, playing in the fields, getting muddy, doesn't matter, you know, that was climbing trees. My love for animals, you know, wildlife and anything, you know, like that. And I guess I've helped a lot of causes along the way. You know, one of my partners is WWF Singapore. So I helped them do a few of their campaigns. And along the way of helping kind of so many groups and organizations to do their causes, I was like, oh, you know, I really should start my own. At some point, I should start my own. And as I was thinking that in mid 2018, and a good friend of mine, Mark Coe, a good friend of mine, an old dear friend of mine, who's in the shipping industry, actually asked me. He just said, you know, we had a chat, and it was National Day. So August 9th, 2018, up on the top of MBS, celebrating National Day. And it was just like, you know, I kind of want to do a bit of like corporate responsibility, give back a little bit more from my shipping company to branch out into the region and clean more of the ocean, more of the water. Because his company, Jensen Shipping, has been cleaning the waters of Singapore for the last 20 years.
Wow.
So he's had the government contract to clean. Back in the day, it was coastal water, rivers, reservoirs. But over time, you know, they open up to more vendors. Now his company just takes care of coastal waters. So he's got the expertise and the knowledge in operations, the vessels and everything, but he didn't have the volunteerism and the social advocacy and the network on my side of how to go and do it. So that's why he said, can we partner up and start a charity or an initiative to start cleaning, you know, the waters. He really does it for Singapore, so it was more us expanding out internationally to do this.
I think we have a video on this for All Clear. You want to
yeah, we do. Yeah, I did something for Discovery.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's show the video.
Everyone can get a better idea.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Paul Foster in Singapore, and I'm committed to act now. Did you know that plastics in our ocean continue to grow? If we don't change now, plastics will outweigh our fish entirely by 2050. It's time to limit single-use plastics and to clean our waters. Let me show you what we do here in Singapore. Plastic pollution has become a global crisis. Every year, on average, 8 million tons of plastic enters our oceans. Even though we clean hotspots like this here in Singapore every day, the trash just keeps coming in. We know that most of it's not from Singapore's rivers or ports, because the authorities had closed off the rivers to make them reservoirs, whilst actively collecting waste from ships in port. Most of it, unfortunately, comes from neighboring countries, with approximately 80% of the plastic in our oceans originating from land, and a significant proportion entering the sea via rivers. This is one of my missions, to clean up rubbish like this, and you can see, especially plastic. It is man labor to help push the debris into the scoop, into the vessel. When the bins are full in the vessel, it gets transferred on land to these open bins here. And then trucks come, pick up the bins, and they take them off to the incinerator. One of these open bins holds 2 to 3 tons, and they're collecting 1 to 4 of these open bins on a daily basis. This trash, especially non-degrading plastic waste, is circulating in and out of our water systems, coming and going with the seasons. But we are lucky here in Singapore because the government treats water pollution like this very seriously. Our operational partner, Tiansan Shipping, has been working with the Singapore government for over 20 years to develop knowledge and technology to clear ocean waste on an industrial scale. And now, we want to use the capabilities of All Clear to help with any form of ocean pollution internationally. We want to expand our operations and act now to save our world for an all-clear future. We may never achieve zero plastics in our oceans, but that doesn't mean we must take zero action. We want you to make a pledge. Upload a photo or a video of how committed you are to sustainability. It's time to act now, because the world is ours.
Wow. Where is this rubbish? Is it in Singapore?
It is in Singapore.
I can't believe it.
Again, I can't exactly say where it is, but I think you can kind of imagine where it could be. Now,
Okay.
you know, so this is actually a good day. What you're seeing now, this is not the worst day. This is actually
No way.
a good day. Yeah. But you know, this sort of trash, it's all seasonal. It depends on the monsoon. It depends on the current, the wind. You know, half the year we get it. This all comes from the north. The other half of the year it comes from the south. So you know, I don't need to name names of where that trash comes from, but people can figure it out. So and that's the thing. You see, look. In Singapore, they do that every day. They clean every day. It's an everyday issue that they clean. Obviously, we've had the benefit of our infrastructure being built where our longkangs and our reservoirs, everything all leads to a place where they can collect the rubbish. It doesn't go out into the ocean. I think Singapore have done a very good job with that.
So how can we help? You know, how can we as a layman help with this? Help with the environment.
To be honest, the first thing is just really limit and cut down or literally stop using single-use plastics.
When you say single-use plastic, you mean like the bottled water?
Plastic bags, bottled water, straws, any real kind of packaging that has plastic that you're going to use once. Now, I get it. It's very difficult. It's very difficult in this day and age to be 100% plastic free. So within reason, you can cut down your plastic intake. So for example, in Singapore, I don't buy any bottled drinks if it's plastic, just period.
Yep.
Water is definitely don't need, because we can drink water out of the tap.
Yes, that's true.
But I don't
understand why people are buying bottled water here. I don't get it, but anyway.
I've got so many bottles and I just keep refilling and refilling and refilling. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, so water is a big no-no. But even further for me, I don't buy any drinks if it's in a plastic bottle. I'll buy an aluminum can because that's easier to recycle. And, you know, most of my plastic comes from food packaging, if anything. But I make sure that I clean all that out and I recycle. I recycle a lot of whatever I can. And I think that's that to help, that's how it should be. You know, we must remember plastic takes 400 years to break down. And when it breaks down, it doesn't just disappear. It breaks down into microplastics, which, you know, gets into everything. Seafood, they eat that because it becomes small. Then we eat the seafood. So technically then we're eating plastic. It gets into our water systems, into our ground. You know, you know, so animals on the ground, even cattle, they consume also into our vegetation. It's kind of like everywhere. Plastic's everywhere. So we need to kind of reverse that somehow. And, you know, that's the main issue. So once it gets out into the ocean, it's very difficult. You can't even recycle that plastic anymore because it's contaminated. So it goes into at least in Singapore, again, we've got the incinerator. So it just gets incinerated, and that's probably the lesser of two evils. But, you know, I get it. I get a lot of places around the world can't cut out plastics. They don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the education, they don't have the awareness, they don't have the economy to do that. We understand. But I think in Singapore, we have no excuse.
Yeah, right.
So as a society, as individuals, that's what we're going to do. But the next level is like the corporates, industry have to like also start to be a little bit more green, be a little bit more sustainable in their production, like PHYTO, just exactly like that. Deciding when you want to reshape your bottles, just a small tweak of the bottles, take away the extra redundant packaging that we don't need. It's little things like this that you can do. You know, like I'm proud Timberland as well as another brand. I was wearing their boots in that video where they use recycled plastic to make the boots. They use a lot of renewable energies in their production. They plant trees, which is also what PHYTO is going to be doing. So yes, if you need help with that, you let me know. I've got some experience in some tree planting. But it's little things like that to kind of help Mother Nature and give back to Earth. And then the last level is obviously government. So putting in laws and regulations to either force people or companies to be more sustainable, whether it's by some sort of incentive or whether it's by some sort of punishment, whether it's by some sort of tax break, refund, you know, tax
education. Like I realized that if I wanted to do recycling, it's not so straightforward. I need to learn how to clean the plastic before I could put it to the recycling bin. If not, it's as good as nothing. If I threw it in just like that, I thought I'm recycling, but I'm not, because there's plastic mixed with paper, mixed with some food. They can't recycle.
Yeah.
It has to be cleaned out.
You have to clean. And again, not all plastics are recyclable as well. So
and how would we know, right, as laymen, right? We just, plastic, I throw it there. I thought I did a good deed, but I've done nothing to help.
It's tricky, but at least what you can do is, so I clean all my recyclables out, my metals, my plastics, the paper I put together, and I'll still put it all into one bag. And, you know, it's a biodegradable bag. And then that bag I tie up, you know, I probably go through 2 of those big bags a week, and I put it to my blue bin. And at least if you're putting it in the blue bin, when it goes to the sorting plant, they'll figure it out. They'll go through it all and sort it. But the more you clean it, the more you separate it enough, you're making their job much easier. And they're not gonna, and you're helping them to be a more efficient, you know? So yeah, definitely that's one thing I would do. Another thing I would recommend is, if you can do it, composting. So yeah. So that video you just showed that I did for Discovery channel, I'm working with them a lot because we're working a lot with the Act Is Now and World Is Ours campaigns for 2020. So we did, that was the All Clear, my plastics cleanup initiative. I have another video on recycling and another video on composting that I've also
I'm very interested in composting.
Yeah, so I couldn't do it before. Well, I thought I couldn't do it before.
Yes.
I lived in my apartment. But in actual fact, if you have just some sort of space somewhere and you have the right materials and the right structure, you can do it. But when I moved to my house here and I had the garden, I knew straight away composting was one thing I'm going to start doing a lot of. And I do a lot of that. So over time, we've been here 1 year now. So when I moved into this place and I do all my recycling, I do all my composting, if I look at the amount of rubbish, the actual rubbish that we throw in the bin to throw away,
Yes.
it's not a lot. It's maybe 2 small plastic bags for the whole house for the entire week. Because I fill up 2 big bags of recyclables,
Got it.
and I put all my organic waste in the compost bin. So by
I need to buy
composting,
a compost bin.
there's I can send you something. I think
Yes, I'm very keen to get a compost bin.
that's a nice size that you can just put. Actually, you know what? I'll find it now as I'm talking, so I can give them a bit of a shout out. And it's really, really cool. This is the second device I'm gonna get. The first one I just got like an IKEA bin that I wasn't using, and I just converted that into my own.
Hang on, you use a normal bin to be a compost bin.
It's a big, it's a big
metal bin.
Just mine's a big plastic one that I had at some point that I just wasn't using. It was supposed to be for my recycling bin, but I got another one for that. So I just put that in my backyard, put the soil in, put the enzymes. I have some micro enzymes I put in, sugar, because the sugar is needed for the bacteria and the enzymes to.
And you put this bin outside the house, right?
Yeah, it's in my backyard. Yeah, it's in my backyard at the back.
Okay. That's important to note.
Yeah, it doesn't smell. So, okay, urban composter is the one. I'm going to get my second device from these guys, urban composter, because it's a small composter. Yeah, it's a smaller bucket. And with composting, a lot of liquid actually starts to mulch and break down. So this is a good way. It has a tap at the bottom. You can get rid of the liquid, and then you can just pour that liquid into your plants. It's great fertilizing nutrients for your plants.
What I do now is whatever vegetables I slice out the skin, which we don't eat, I will give to my plants. So I said, let's feed my plants with this. So I've got this thing to feed my dogs. I've got this thing to feed my plants. You know? Yes. So I'm feeding.
But sometimes you need to break it down a little bit more. That's why composting is very good.
Yes,
and then when it's all composting together with the soil and everything, it's its own living organism in there. So it's absolutely fantastic. And you save about 30% of your rubbish by doing that. So like I said, that's why my rubbish now.
All of us do it. It's 30% less rubbish in Singapore. That's great,
Well, yeah, because and that's just composting. And composting, when you remove the organic material to break down easier, you're also helping with greenhouse gases. Because when it goes to a landfill or something like that, the organic waste doesn't break down properly. It takes a long time to break down, and
all right. And you mix it up together, it gets even worse.
Yeah, and it's just really bad rubbish. So by splitting everything up, you're actually making the process of any breaking down, whether it's organic or by recycling, so much more efficient, and it helps a lot. Where the guys know, oh, wow, he's only got this much rubbish in his green bin to put in the landfill to incinerate. Wow, very good. Oh, this is the recycling. Wow, so much to recycle. It goes back. So it's little things like this we can do at home to help the environment. For All Clear, you asked, how can we help for that? All Clear right now and TSS is more in industry. We're at an industry level. Obviously, we want people to eventually start donating in or adopting rivers, buying packages from us to offset their plastic, kind of levels. So, for example, like PHYTO, if you're using 1 ton of plastic a year with your packaging, you come and buy 2 tons of plastic from us that we collect for the year, so that when you've bought that from us, you become -1. You get an All Clear tick. You're verified. It's like carbon offsetting, plastic offsetting. You become a neutral green corporate. Because
plastic-wise, like plastic, just like the carbon emissions.
Yes,
the same concept.
So yes, exactly. So because we understand too that in industry you have no choice. You have to use plastic.
Yes,
you have to. But by helping us clean up the tons of plastic that we're collecting from the ocean. Coastal waters and rivers. We're going to target more rivers because we want to get closer to the source. You're still helping. And you're, again, offsetting and rebalancing your checkbook in that sense of plastic manufacturing. So that's the plan. Although 2020 now we've had to stop any
It's
regional.
delayed, it's delayed, but I'm sure it's going to be better. It's just slightly
Yeah.
delayed. All of us kind of have to put our plans in the bandwagon and just go with the flow for now.
Yes, yes, just for now.
Just for
But
now.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. So can you share with us, Paul, how long have you been using PHYTO? Because I know you've been quite a avid PHYTO user.
It would have been when we met. So it would have been like 2012. Would have been, I started using it because we met and we were doing remember we were starting to do a few quick campaigns for the brand back then.
I think so.
And then I probably stopped for a few years. You know, maybe it was like 2014 to like 2018, give or take, a few years, using your products sporadically in between, because we were still in touch and you were so kind, you were still sending me products. But I started to really use PHYTO again for about almost the last 2 years, coming up to the last year and a half. Yeah, almost 2 years. It was the end of 2018. I started to use it.
So how has it been for you?
It's been great. I mean, look, I haven't cut my hair in a while because during circuit breaker and actually until the government opens up all businesses, I'm not going to go to the hairdresser to cut my hair, because I don't believe we can go and cut our hair, but we cannot go and work out with our PT or go and get a tattoo from a tattoo artist or go get a massage, because it's all the same. It's all close proximity. And
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can say we are taking the getting our hair cut and it's still okay. I still don't get it. So my hair though is growing out.
How is your routine? What is your hair care routine? Can you share with us?
Yeah, I use the anti-hair loss, anti-thinning Novatrix shampoo, but also with the volumizing shampoo as well. So I alternate between the two. As you can see, I mean, there's sprays, there's serums, there's shampoos. So I basically use all of this. I even take the dietary supplements. So and for me, it's all about my thinning hair, my hair falling out, and if you can stop this two first, that's the first step. That's the big thing you can do, because a lot of guys, I'm losing hair. So okay, if you lose hair, you got to stop the hair loss first. The hair regrowth is much harder, but you have to stop the hair loss first. Then thicken your hair a little bit so that get your scalp very healthy so that your pores can open up and then your new hair can start to grow. It's a process and it takes time. So all the serums, all the detox re-energizing sprays, all the shampoos, all the pre and post, products you put in, and the dietary supplements all come together to help with your stopping hair loss and obviously rejuvenating your scalp and your hair to grow stronger and thicker. So
I've got a question from the audience. They asked, is it easy to use PHYTO? I mean, for me it is, but for you?
I mean, if you can't tell me that we don't all wash our hair or condition our hair. So there's nothing difficult about that. You have a shower, you wash your body, you wash your face, you wash your hair. It's the same thing. And if you can apply product in your hair to style your hair every day like I do, what's the difference with then washing your hair at night and then applying another product to actually help rest your hair and clean your hair and rejuvenate your hair and your scalp? Because also hair products does a lot of damage. Yes, we look good because we can style our hair.
Right, but the residual is there.
Right, it does a lot of damage,
chemicals,
especially in Singapore with the humidity and everything.
And the sun and the blow dryer damages the hair.
And pollution, everything. You must count all this. And people, I guess they don't realize, well, I say then you spend so much money on washing your face and getting all the products for your face, because that's what we see a lot. Why wouldn't you do that for your hair and your scalp? I mean, it's the same thing. So no,
but our crowning glory, I think it's our crowning glory. If I got a pimple, I can kind of cover it up a little bit with my makeup. I don't know. But if I have no hair, I have nothing to cover up.
Yeah, and it's what's difficult. It's not about it's not about leche and, oh yeah, so troublesome, because if you are having a problem, a health problem, and you want to fix it, you have to put a little bit of effort in.
True.
Whatever the situation is. Even like say pimple, okay lah, you must wash and you must tone it. You got to put the cream, and after 3-4 days, okay, it clears up. Yeah, but with hair, it takes a lot longer. And I always say it's this one is definitely a remedy is better than cure. If you can come in early and stop your hair from falling out early, prevention, right? Then wow, your gold. It's much better.
We've got another question from the audience who asks, of all the products you shared, which is your favorite? Like from PHYTO.
So for me, well, I have so many favorites because they all do something.
True.
So for me, I've always looked, I'm very lucky because I do work with a brand. So, Lynn and PHYTO have always supported me with the products, and that counts for a lot. So it's allowed me to try a lot of the products in the whole range and figure out what I feel looks best in results, but also feels the best when I'm like, ooh, that's nice feeling. And again, it takes time. This is not a 1 week, 2 weeks can see kind of thing. This
of course.
Months, years, because it takes time to really, get everything.
Because our hair only grows 1 cm a month. And for us to see visible results, we need several months. If not, you cannot see it tomorrow or next week. You need months to see something coming out.
Yeah. So for me, I think I love the Novatrix range in particular because
PHYTO Novatrix?
Yes, in particular, because that actually helps with the anti-hair loss and the stimulation of growth as well. But like I said, I couldn't use it as just a standalone. I needed the other products to help.
Program, the full regime.
with the volumizing, the detoxing, everything, just to keep going. So it's kind of a package deal when you take everything. I know I've got a few questions here. Actually, I'm seeing now.
You're very interested in your hair growth. Your hair looks so much fuller. I think they're very interested.
Yeah, how do you stop your hair from falling? Dry hair. Yeah.
You don't color your hair, do you, Paul?
No, I don't.
Naturally black. So I think Paul can't answer you that for now.
Yeah, but to stop your hair falling, I think the first thing is to definitely get some sort of anti-hair loss regime going. Whether that's a shampoo, a spray, a serum, I think these are important.
The supplements really help. Yeah.
So supplements, because it's not just topical. You don't need to just topical. You need to put things inside your body to help your body grow as well. This is just basic biology. It's like when you're working out and you want to get muscles, what do you need? Protein.
Yeah,
right?
True.
Yeah, this is a fuel for your muscles to grow. If you're a marathon runner and you're going to run a long distance, what do you need? Carbs, carbohydrates. You need to carbo load because that's your energy fuel system to be able to run, for long distances. This is just natural biology. So when you start, and look, our bodies mutate over time. Our cells mutate. We break down. This is called aging. This is also biology 101. We're gonna get old. We just all age at different rates, and some of us get older a bit younger, and some of us get older a bit older. But no matter what, we're all gonna age. We're gonna get wrinkles. We're gonna, put on a little bit of weight. Our skin's gonna get a little bit saggy. Our hair is going to fall out. It happens.
Get thinner, turn white.
That's it. So I've got the other spray as well, the RE spray that I'm using.
RE30 to keep your hair black. Yeah.
I've got a few white hairs coming out, which again is natural. So I use that spray to try and see if that hair can regenerate and get some color, pigment back into it. So I think you have to find the right products, find the right range, whether it's topical, whether it's taking some sort of form of supplements, and you got to stick to it. You really got to go. And I'm telling you, if you notice that you have hair loss, you have it. This is a very easy thing to see. You'll know by washing your hair.
Shower, you see the pipe, the drain.
Yeah. And for me, I know. So what first happened for me in 2010 is when I first noticed my hair starting to fall out. 2010, so I was just about hitting 30 years old. And I was like, hey,
Wow.
wow. I was like, okay, I'm starting to
You know,
notice that I'm
30%
losing
of
my hair.
men in their 30s start to have hair loss. 30% of men.
So that's why I said I can speak for men. I can speak for men where once you get about to late 20s, early 30s, you can start to now already, get going with the right kind of products and brands that you want to use. And PHYTO is one particular brand that you should invest in. I can guarantee it. So it's something that again I noticed, and when you notice it, you'd have to be a bit of an idiot if you don't want to do something about it.
Yeah, that's true.
and
Don't
the
give up
longer
hope. I always tell
Yeah.
customers, don't give up hope. It's still possible to keep
Yeah.
what you have.
And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. So the moment you start to notice, listen, go and get something. Start to do your research. In why wouldn't you invest in your health?
In yourself, right?
In yourself. Yeah. I found that always very strange when people say, hey, yeah, but so expensive, cannot do this, cannot do that. I say, okay, expensive, one thing, I get it. But then, maybe you have to figure it out. Maybe instead of going out for 2 dinners a month and having those extra drinks a month, you save that money and you put it towards 1 month worth of products to take care of yourself, whether it's for your hair or for your skin or whatever. You just have to figure it out. And health, there shouldn't be a price on health also.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on.
We've got a few more minutes, and I want to ask you about your animals.
Oh,
you
yeah.
live with 4 cats and 1 dog or something like that?
Yeah, we currently have 4 cats, 1 dog. Well, in actual fact, we have 8 cats because we're also fostering a cat who's just given birth. So.
Oh wow! Look at that.
So okay, you've got me and Joey on the left. So that's with so me, my girlfriend, obviously, and
Yes.
Moshi is her cat that she got, her first cat, and Jewel
Beautiful
with me
cat.
there. Jewel was my first adopted cat from many years ago now, but unfortunately she just passed away 2 months ago. So this is one of our most recent
How
pictures.
old was she when she passed?
She was 9, so
Wow.
still quite young, but she got sick and it didn't quite work out for her in that sense. We tried, but it didn't work. In the middle there, you've got Kiwi and Percy, the 2 kittens that we adopted a couple of months ago because we wanted to adopt 2 more cats. And then you've got Dill here, who's the mama cat that we're fostering, and she literally just gave birth to those 3 kittens 2 days ago. And then you should have a picture of me and my other cat and me and my dog, but I don't know if that's coming up as well. I don't know if you've made
There were a lot of
screen.
pictures.
Yeah. So
how do they all live together with you? I mean, how does it work?
you showed 2 of Dill, you showed 2 of my foster cat, but not my pets. I'm hurt.
There's so many pictures.
No, I must show. I have to show my pets, or else I'll be in trouble.
What dog do you have?
So that's Bongo.
Oh yes, beautiful.
So that's Bongo, and then we've got Bam Bam. Bam Bam is our husky. So.
Oh, beautiful.
Bam Bam, yeah. But everyone knows her. She's on my Instagram quite a lot because she's.
So what happens after you foster a cat? Like
we find
homes for her and the kitten.
There's no giving back when you foster.
I'll get it. Okay. So she's yours.
No. There's no giving back when you foster. You got to get them adopted. There's nowhere to give back when you foster because that's the whole point of fostering. You're helping a rescuer or a shelter or an organization foster an animal to take a stress and a load off what they're doing on the ground, so that when you foster and you help them recover, help them get a little bit more domesticated, then you find an adopter for that particular animal. Because fostering is just the in-between, we're the go-between between them getting adopted. Yeah, so Dill, for example, was abandoned, pregnant, and she was getting attacked out in the community because she's not a community cat. So she's very sweet. She's super sweet. She's super lovable. She obviously couldn't take care of herself. So she got attacked and she got a wound. So the rescuer rescued her because she was also pregnant, and they needed someone to take care of her. They needed someone to let her heal her wound and give birth in a safe environment. So we fostered her 2 weeks. Now the kittens are born. The minimum we have to keep them now is 8 weeks, 2 more months. When they grow in 2 months, we can then start to look at getting them adopted. So
Got it.
we're looking for
What
4
a great
adopters.
commitment. How do you find the time, Paul, with all your work
There's
and
so
social
much,
causes?
so much time now in
Now,
CB.
but you've been
CB
doing
is so
this
much
even
time.
before CB, you know. I know you've
Well,
been
the
doing
fo-
this even
the-
before this.
The fostering we started now. The fostering we started
Okay.
now because we're both home. We can't travel, you know. But everything else, well, marginal movement also we started because circuit breaker. But everything else, yeah, I think, you know, you just have to find the time. If you're passionate about something and you want to do something and you want to commit, volunteer, and you have that passion, I think you do it. You have to be careful. Don't get me wrong. You have to be careful. You don't want to overload and overstress. And
That's
I'm
right.
not gonna lie.
Commit, yes.
It does happen. It does happen. You know, even for me now, it's more like I have the time now to do it, and I'm not working really. So okay, give back, help an animal that was in trouble, help the environment that is in trouble, help people that need some sort of support. You know, this makes me happy. I like to go and do these things. So I'm just very fortunate that I have people around me that also want to help me do this, and other people on the peripheral who support us in doing this. So, you know, we owe a lot to the people who are donating and also volunteering and giving their time for the cause as well. Yeah.
So Paul, I do want to thank you for spending the last close to an hour with us.
Yeah.
And sharing all these things with us. I want to give you a big hug, so I'll just give you a big virtual hug right now.
Virtual hug, yeah, virtual hug. Yeah.
So thank you so much, and continue to shine and spread all your positivity and your commitment so that we can hopefully inspire more to come on board with you. That's what we're trying to do here anyways with this program.
That's the plan. I mean, you can follow me. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, and everything we spoke about tonight, I literally share it on my social anyway.
Yes,
so
Paul's an open book. Everything he does, you can follow him.
It's all there. So you can pretty much follow that, and yeah, I look forward to doing more with you.
Yes, I look forward to
and PHYTO. It's World Environment Day next week on the 5th
on the 5th of June, correct? 5th of June is World Environment Day.
So
let's do something for the environment.
Yeah, make sure everyone does something. But if you have any questions, again, on anything we spoke about tonight, feel free to message me and let me know. And
yes,
I'll
thank you
try
so
to
much,
answer.
Paul. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So next week on the same place, we are going to have another guest joining us, and she's none other than a radio DJ, Cheryl Miles. So Cheryl is, as you know her, she's a famous DJ. She also sings, but what's great about her is that she started her own cookbook. So we're going to find out more about her, Smitten in the Kitchen. How did she pursue her passion into cooking? And we also have a short program on next Tuesday, where I'm going to talk about hair loss. A lot of us are very curious about how hair loss comes about. So I'm going to touch on that, what are the causes and how can we treat hair loss per se. And that's on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So I hope to see you next week. Thank you so much and goodbye.
This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive. Nothing's gonna stop us, nothing's gonna top this, nothing like we've ever seen.